I've gotten so used to being on the stage, throwing out fun quiz questions and watching everyone scramble and panic for some answers. But today it seems the roles have reversed, and I'm the one up here, and now I have to sound smart and serious. So no pressure, right? Before I begin, inshallah ta'ala, I know these chairs are very uncomfortable. So without further ado, maybe I'll just give you guys like 20 seconds, just maybe to stand up and just stretch for a little, and then inshallah we get to sit down. Just 20 seconds. If everyone can just stand up, stretch up, maybe pull the legs. Because these chairs, I know they are very, very uncomfortable. So here. 15 seconds. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There was once a Sahabi by the name of Hanzala al-Usaydi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He was walking and he came across Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And he started to burst into tears. So Abu Bakr asked, ماذا بك يا حنظلة? So Hanzala then replied and he said, نافق حنظلة, نافق حنظلة. Hanzala has become a munafiq. Hanzala has become a hypocrite. So I'll just take a pause here, inshallah ta'ala. Who can tell me in Islamic context, what does the word and the term munafiq mean? Quickly, quickly. Give a little bit more definition. Yes, a hypocrite, but more, just a little bit more. Okay. This is a gift for you, and at least it's still a good answer. But a hypocrite, in terms of the Islamic context, is a person who outwardly shows his Islam, but inwardly he doesn't have that iman. So look at this Sahabi Jaleel. He was one of the scribes of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he's saying this, نافق حنظلة, نافق حنظلة. Hanzala has become a munafiq. So this is it's a great statement. It's a great statement. So Abu Bakr asks him, why are you saying this? So then he replied and he said, whenever we are in the company of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reminds us of Jannah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reminds us of Jahannam. And we feel and we see it so vividly, like we can see it right in front of us. But then, when we return back to our homes and we engage in our daily lives, we forget much of what we have felt and learned. So hearing this, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu then says, I too have this similar feeling. So they both go to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Hanzala then goes to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and said, Ya Rasulullah, nafaqa Hanzala, nafaqa Hanzala. Hanzala has become a munafiq. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam listened attentively to Hanzala's concern and his feeling of hypocrisy. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam then replied and he said, لو تدومون على الحال الذي تقومون بها من عندي لصافحتكم الملائكة. If you could remain in the state, O Hanzala, of mindfulness and awareness that you're experiencing while you're with me, meaning Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then the angels will have greeted you in your gatherings, in your roads, and even your beds. However, ya akhi, ya Hanzala, sa'atan wa sa'a. Sa'atan wa sa'a. There's a time for worship. There's a time for family. There's a time for rest. My dear brothers and sisters, what is the point that I'm trying to drive? There's a lot of lessons we can learn from this incident. But one thing and one key point, inshallah ta'ala, I would like to discuss is that this is the reality of our hearts. Our hearts are shaped by the environments we place ourselves in. And it's the undeniable truth. عش مع التجار تتمنى أن تكون مثلهم. You spend your time and you accompany yourself with business like-minded people. Then you aspire and you wish to become like them. عش مع الطلاب الجامعات تتمنى أن تكون مثلهم. You hang around and you be with people of university, students of university, students of knowledge, engaging and discussing certain knowledge. Then you also become inspired to become like them. But la samahallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. If you continuously accompany people who see evil, who go to evil places, who are always heedless, at first you will feel some pressure in your heart, but then the influence will seep into your heart until you aspire to become like them. The company we keep and the environment we surround ourselves, they define who we become. It shapes our character. It shapes our aspiration. And ultimately, our akhir and our destiny. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite wisdom, He says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Oh, you who believe, fear Allah. Have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's consciousness in you. But how do you do that? How do you develop this taqwa? وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. And be with those who are truthful. If you wish to develop taqwa, if you wish to develop a life of obedience, you must choose your companions wisely. Surround yourself with as-salihin. Surround yourself with sadiqeen. Surround yourself with obedient, righteous people. These are the people who will remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you forget. Who will encourage you to do good deeds. And they will hold you back from the wrong when you falter and make a mistake. And this is why, my dear brothers and sisters, good company is not just a recommendation, but rather it is a righteous deed. It is a amal salih. It is a shield in your heart. Every person in this world needs companionship, needs friends. That's the nature of life. A person will either accompany good people, righteous people, or wicked and evil people. And the companionship and the friendship of righteous people, while it being beneficial in this world, it is also a reward for you in the hereafter. And among the blessings of having good companionship and good friendship is that on the day of Qiyamah, when the believing servants, when they enter into paradise, then they start looking for their brother or their sister in deen, in faith. And they will say, Ya Rabb, فلان كان معنا يصلي معنا يصوم معنا في الدنيا. Ya Allah, so and so, he prayed with us, he fasted with us, he performed hajj with us. He's not with us here today. His good deeds were few. And now he's entered into hellfire. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah, He would say, اذهبوا, go. فاخرجوا من النار من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من خردل من الإيمان. He will say to the believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, go and go take out from the hellfire those who even have a mustard seed of iman in their hearts from amongst your companions. Subhanallah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, ثلاثة من كنا فيه وجد حلاوة الإيمان. That there are three qualities. Whoever possesses them will taste the sweetness of iman. There is iman, but there is also halawatul iman, the sweetness of iman. And one of the conditions and one of the qualities is أن يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله. That a person loves his other believing brother for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you love your brother or sister for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would always want righteousness and goodness for them. This is why Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he says, أكثر من الإخوان فإنهم عدة في الدنيا والآخرة. Increase in the number of brothers and sisters and friendship, because they will be your provision for you in this world, in this world and then the hereafter. My dear brothers and sisters, this conference is a golden opportunity to make righteous and good friends. You never know. One of these people that you might meet today, you might be sitting next to, might be the reason for you to enter into Jannah. So don't be shy. Start networking for the hereafter and for the akhirah. As for me, alhamdulillah, I've met some amazing brothers, and I just hope I don't regret. I just hope that they don't regret meeting me, and I remind them on the day of Qiyamah for them to vouch for me. Like Brother Shafi, Brother Osama. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you guys. Because on the day of Qiyamah, this is the reality. فَمَا لَنَا مِن شَافِعِينَ وَلَا صَدِيقٍ حَمِيمٍ. He will say, we have no intercessors, we have no one who vouch for us. وَلَا صَدِيقٍ حَمِيمٍ. No any close friend. They have no close companionship. No intimate friends that take care of them or intercede for them on the day of Qiyamah. But as the people of Iman, as the people of the righteousness, what happens? الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say the close friends, they will be enemies of each other, except who? Except the righteousness. يا عبادي لا خوف عليكم اليوم ولا أنتم تحزنون. As for the companions of this world, on the day of judgment, on the day of Qiyamah, they will curse, they will insult, they will blame one another. I'll just end off with this little story. Abu Ali al-Ribati, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said he accompanied Abdullah al-Razi. He was a righteous person. And he said, I wanted to travel with him. So Abdullah al-Razi, he said, okay, if you're going to travel with me, do you want to become the leader or I'll take the lead? Meaning that now they're traveling, one of them needs to be a leader. So he said, Anta al-Amir. So Abdullah then said, Al-Amiru lahu as-sam'u wa ta'a. The leader must be obeyed. He agreed. He said, okay, no problem, let's go. And as they set out, Abdullah, the leader, started carrying the luggage on his back. So Ali then said, no, let me carry it for you. So he replied, no. Al-Amiru lahu as-sam'u wa ta'a. You listen to me and I'll carry the bag. And as they sat and they went, later on, Abdullah began cooking food. He said, let me cook and serve you. So he replied, no. Al-Amiru lahu as-sam'u wa ta'a. You said, I'm going to be the leader, you listen and you obey. I'm going to cook. And then later on in the journey, a heavy rain started to fall. And Abdullah then what he done was, he held a cloak over the head of Ali, protecting him from the rain while he stood there exposed in the thunderstorm and the wind. And then Ali then said, Tamannaytu, I wished I had died before I could allow him to become a leader, because he took care of me and served me so selflessly. This is the essence of righteousness. This is the essence of good companionship. This is the essence of the people who love each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But whoever befriends people of evil, people of corruption, they will regret it deeply on the day of Qiyamah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, He says, regarding those who associate themselves with evil people, what will they do on the day of Qiyamah? They will not merely bite a finger or two or three, but rather they will bite both of their hands in regret. وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا يَا وَيْلَتَى لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أَتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا. ويوم يعض الظالم على يديه, on the day when the transgressor now bites on his hand. Why? In regret. You will see, oh, I wish I had taken the messenger away. يا ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا. Woe unto me, I wish I had not taken this person as a friend. لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني. He had led me away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after it came come to me. Do you want reward? Do you want virtues? Then you seek out the righteous people. You seek out people of piety. Befriend anyone. Do not befriend anyone except of a believer. لا تصاحب إلا مؤمنا ولا يأكل طعامك إلا تقي. So ask yourself today, who are the closest people to you? Do they bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or do they lead you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? My dear brothers and sisters, if we truly desire to become amongst the people of taqwa, the solution is simple yet profound. Immerse yourself in gatherings of righteousness. Have good friends. Seek the company of those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who live by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command, and who remind you regarding the purpose of this world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the strength to surround ourselves with good people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our hearts. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who are truthful and sincere. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening very, very attentively. Jazakumullahu khairan.